Hello. Well, welcome back to your favorite TS, where we tell it like it is and let the cheers fall where the bloody hell may. And today, and then Friday, so I'll relax more and do what I have to do. But you made my mom some slight briefing space. Anyway, what do I want to talk about today? Plenty things to. But let me start with this thing. Number one, folks. I really very wholeheartedly commend the government of Ghana if they have decided not to release their license for Taka Gold Mines, man. Show some love for Ghana, man. Yes, Taka Gold Mines is a South African company, and they have been mining Taka Gold coins for over 20 years. The cash amodikono, the profits that they make, that they repatriate to their country, and see how Ghanaians and other African countries are being treated there. So I am very happy. I think it's a bold step to say, you want to mine gold from our country and at the same time disrespect our country people, we won't renew the license, or we are thinking of how we will change the lease matters. So I'm very happy. First, let me tell you why I'm extremely happy. Long ago, when I was a much younger man, say, when they say America, then you're happy. In my days, we didn't say I'm going to the US, and I say we call United States, so we didn't say America. Do you know how to say it? You call you ass. Yeah, you ass. and ask you, so okay, so you ask with me. Let me tell you why I'm saying this. Because when I was a young guy, one of the reasons that I love you ass was this. That Charlie, the saying that saying they have in America, I think Kennedy said it, do not think of what your country will do for you, but what you will do for your country. Samokai became a very nationalist thing, and it's like everybody was saying something to that effect. Charlie, don't think of what your country can do for you, but think of what you can do for your country. It came from the US, and we were like, saying some, But you know something? I started thinking and understanding why such a statement will come from them. Do you know why? And this is one of the things that back in the day when I was growing up, I respected about the US. Charlie, they protect their citizens. No matter where you are, unless they don't know you are there. But if they know you are there and you are in trouble, trust me, the US will find a way to come and rescue you. It's based on what I'm saying, they are cool, they respect their citizens. Why am I talking like this so plenty, as I usually say? I'm saying this because as I was growing up, back in the day, when I heard that statement, don't think of what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. When I heard that, I kept saying, America, because whatever happens, your country will come and rescue you. But I mean, in Ghana here, what does the government care about where I am and what I'm doing? So I didn't even think it made much sense. But the point I'm making is this. I never ever in my wildest imagination even thought that there will come a day when the government of Ghana, when they hear that the people of Ghana are being maltreated or something is happening, they will actually make an effort to go and rescue their citizens. Charlie, show Ghana some love, man. It means a lot. Watch it. Now that Ghana has done it, you watch it. Nigeria will do it soon. If they haven't done it already by the time I finish talking. But I'm saying this to suggest that it means that a certain level of political maturity is hitting our leadership. And the political maturity goes to the point that they have the complete understanding that they are there for all Ghana and for all Ghanaians. Not for a party.
Thank him for giving us a leader in the person of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, who values the life of Ghanaians. To Today, the Mahama administration is demonstrating that wherever Ghanaians are, we will make sure you are protected, your dignity is respected, and we will go to the length of this world to bring you back home safely.
When they send the rescue plane to the South Africa to board the plane because we wanted to rescue them, did they have a checklist? Okay, we need all the NDC people first, Mumra. You know, and after all NDC has gone in, okay, we have a few more seats. Other parties can come in. No, we are going to rescue Ghanaians. That is what I love. Ghana for what you know, whether they are Igbe, whether they are Gan, whether they are Ashanti, whether they are Northna, we don't care. Ghana for are being maltreated. Let's go and rescue Ghanaians.
Yeah, make us say asida KSM koma ye mampin ayade pa ayade cause yes an kan kwase afo ekuyen
Feelings no.
feelings in the heavy obosu yen to me explain heavy pa ya bremu yeze wo shefi onko adwuma wo pie kura na ya asem
That is political maturity. That's political maturity. And I'm so glad that this has happened because it shows me that when I come and stand here and I say, change has really come, so let's support the change and move forward, I feel I have been more or less, you know, my hand and my mouth have been strengthened to talk about let's keep going forward in the same way. Honestly. Well, it didn't matter what party. And I hate to bring Bawumia up at this point like this because he's not concerned with this South African thing. But I remember on one of his campaign promises, now that the NPP is in opposition, he was talking to some NPP supporters and he said that a database has been built with the names of all party supporters. And if he's elected and he's president, when it comes to employment or anything that is beneficial, he will start with the NPP database.
If it is for us as party people, it will be for us. In the system, we will know who wants the jobs, who wants the loans, who wants the scholarships, and all of that. So if we have jobs coming, then it's very simple. We look into the database to see who we are taking the jobs to. We are not going to go and say, party executives or party members, go online and apply and get these jobs. No, the online is already in the database. We'll take the jobs and bring it to you. We are not going to ask you to go online to go and make any applications. So we'll bring the jobs directly to you. And because we are going to use the database system, nobody will be able to sell slots out to people who are outside of our party. You will only be limited to people who benefit from within our database. You can't go outside and take people's slots and sell them to people who will then come in and take opportunities from our people.
Can you imagine this? It's just like Ghanaians are being tortured in South Africa. Let's go and rescue them. Oh, but let's start with the NDC database because I'm the NDC. It doesn't make sense. No. We are building this country. We are building this nation. And this is the way to build a nation. See all of us as one. As a matter of fact, I was going through TikTok and I saw this lady talking who was saying that she's an ardent NPP follower. That is fine with me. But she says she has to come on TikTok to big up Ablakwa and to big up the NDC for the rescue mission.
Adia wa na bo adwene ntia so because senyo no a enka sa breme enka minim de bia sie if it kwasi adan so said your mo boy ho ban ahwe yen so abeti nne no ye ka chente da na se woni na busuafo even mpanimfo aka ho nyina da ednyame enhira ema wo mo da wase.
You know what I'm saying? Say, even for her it's something strange, but it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be, whether it's an NPP, NDC, CPP administration, it doesn't matter. Ghanaians are Ghanaians. That's why some people were complaining how unnecessary it was when, back in the day, His Excellency Nado went to Volta region and they said it was a joke, whatever, that he was telling them, you people shouldn't be here because you didn't vote for me. When there was a crisis in the Volta region with flooding and stuff, I said, me, I'm not supposed to be here because you didn't vote for me.
Because if it's a question of counting who votes for me and who doesn't vote for me, I shouldn't be here because you don't vote for me.
People came to defend that it was a joke. If it was a joke, it was a bad joke. The duty of presidency is to unite the people. The duty of presidency is to make sure that the nation comes together. So I'm saying this because I just want to go back to the point that yes, this act of making sure people have been rescued from another country, it's really commendable. And it's South Africa, and I hope that's a last place. But it is just a sign that Ghana is now thinking about her citizens, whoever they are, wherever they are. And let me commend Ablakwa too here, you know. Ablakwa, you know, they say it is very, very important because only one person can change the destiny of a nation. Maybe I'm exaggerating, but it is just to say that everybody is so important. Sir. It takes the effort of one person. It takes the dynamism of one person to effect some amazing major change. And for that reason, I'm saying that Ablakwa, after stepping up as our Foreign Affairs Minister, he's been extraordinary. Ablakwa has changed the way people view Ghana worldwide. Remember when the Israeli people sacked some Ghanaians from Israel, immediately Ablakwa to refuse entry for some Israelis. And that takes for that, but just to say that, listen, we are a sovereign country, we demand respect, so respect us. And it says, if you disrespect our people, then don't expect respect from us. That was a bold move, and again, I salute Ablakwa for a move like that. So believe it or not, you know, people now have placed Ghana in a different pedestal when it comes to international and foreign affairs. They know there's not a country you can mess with. And fortunately, Ablakwa is with his president, JM, who thinks similarly that no, it is time to reset the nation of Ghana. It is time to put us all on a path of integrity and confidence. And it's time to put nationalism. So these are just initial signs. And I'm so happy. You know, I've always been proud of being Ghanaian. But let me tell you, my pride in Ghana has shot up about 100 times. Just by that single act, we took a plane to go and rescue our citizens. I know this South African gentleman, he's a nationalist in South Africa, Malema. I really like him. Let me say that to begin with. I respect him. He's a thoughtful Pan-Africanist, and he really believes in the integrity of black people and Africans, and he wants better for his people and for Africans. Malema, that one I'll give it to you, no question. But let me say, I beg to differ with you. I think you went to BBC and you make some statements about how Ghana has overreacted by coming in to remove their citizens. Let's listen to just a little bit of what you said.
The Ghana response was not necessary because it now creates an impression that we are all like that, when it is a certain section of our society that needs to be contained by law enforcement. And one Ghanaian lady was saying, you see, the problem is, and I wouldn't have taken this option. The problem is we're being beaten in front of the police and the police are not doing anything. That's the problem. And when this opportunity came for me to leave, I left, because if the police can't defend me, it means the state is in agreement with the people who are beating me. So we think it was too quick. We'll still resolve this. And President of Ghana should have given us, some time to really deal with this matter. And we'll get to the bottom of it. We hope they will come back to their senses. We don't have to respond the same way they did. We need to pursue the diplomatic engagements with Ghana until we find one another. We don't think Ghana responded in a manner that really reinforces dialogue and diplomatic engagements.
Well, in other words, my good friend Malema was saying that we overreacted, maybe we should have waited a bit. Let me tell you something that I truly believe. And if I'm wrong, Malema, come and tell me, because I know you watch this show. Let me tell you what Malema truly believes. Malema knows Ghana. Malema understands the history. Malema is very, very much aware of the role Kwame Nkrumah played in the fight against apartheid. Malema knew how committed Nkrumah was. Malema knows how committed he made Ghana. Malema had Kwame Nkrumah on OAU, African Union platform, and he's so solid that never before has any one African given so much support to South Africa. So in my view, Ashino, he's really hurt that Ghana, of all countries, was the first to come and fly there. People that said, Munyan Singh, bring back my people. He's hurt. In actual effect, he's embarrassed. So he's speaking out of embarrassment and shame. And that's why he's talking about Ghana overreacted, we should have taken our time. He himself has said that even the police stood there while Ghanaians were being beaten.
One Ghanaian lady was saying, you see, the problem is, and I wouldn't have taken this option. The problem is we're being beaten in front of the police and the police are not doing anything. That's the problem. And when this opportunity came for me to leave, I left, because if the police can't defend me, it means the state is in agreement with the people who are beating me.
Now, if you know that the police will even stand by when Ghanaians are being beaten, and the Ghana government says, no, I will not let you do this to my citizens, I'll come and take them out. You say they overreacted? So what, they should have beaten them and burned them before we decide that it's gone too far? So Malema, I think you are overreacting with this statement. I really believe, Malema, what you should have said when you went to BBC or whatever you were was that you are very sad because Ghana plays such a crucial role in Africa regarding the fight against apartheid. You are aware of it. Say it on the BBC that you know how Nkrumah, even back in those days, opened up Ghana to freedom fighters in South Africa. So you come to Ghana, I'll give you a Ghanaian passport. I'm not kidding you. So there were South African freedom fighters who were fighting for their freedom, who took refuge in Ghana. Not only did they take refuge, Nkrumah made them citizens and gave them a Ghanaian passport. So you can imagine that if all of a sudden the same Ghana comes and says, you are maltreating my people, I'm hauling them off, how ashamed those who know history will be. And I think Malema is very much aware of the role Ghana and the role Nkrumah played by solidifying the whole of Africa against apartheid. And that's what has hit him. So let me go back to what he should have said. He should have said that I know the role Ghana played and other African countries play. I'm very, very much aware of the sacrifices that Ghana made, other African countries might made. I'm very, very much aware that even at the time when we're struggling under apartheid, Nkrumah gave passports to freedom fighters. I know that. So I'm very, very, very ashamed and embarrassed that we are doing this to Ghana. So on behalf of all the South Africans, President of Ghana, I am apologizing on behalf of all of them. Let us work to see how we can make things right and go back to our normal relations. That's what he should have said. But not the giddy Ghana overreacted. Overreacted for what? Policemen are watching you while you beat my citizens and I should keep quiet. We didn't overreact. Malema, you are the one who are reacting. So this is what I wanted to comment on to start with and say that for me, I am very, very, very proud that Ghana, now when I come and stand here, I say, let's build Ghana, nation building. At least we know that now this nation, wherever you are in this world, when you do when you are suffering, Ghana will come and take care of you. And it didn't just start in South Africa. Even in the US, the embassies, when they were not treating our own people right and things, changes were made. So we're on the right path. And like I say and say every day, let's just face forward and keep doing the right thing because it is time to back our country and move forward. Having said that, let me say something. I was thinking about things tonight, and I said, I think one thing that is troubling Ghana, or should I say troubling, I won't say Africa, Ghana and Namifi. One thing that is troubling us is that we do not understand the difference between opposition and nation wrecker. We don't understand the difference between what is called an opposition and what is called a nation wrecker. Sadly, I think we have, for whatever reason, been groomed to think that once you are in the opposition, automatically you must wreck the nation. Especially when you're in a position and you have an administration in power that is focused. Honestly, if you are in a position and the party in power is not focused and the party in power is being silly, the party in power is mediocre, that is where we see the role the opposition will bring out and tell the party in power that, listen, you guys are misguided. Listen, you guys are not focused. Listen, you guys are drawing us back. That is the duty of opposition. To correct the majority where they are going wrong and dragging the nation down. That is when the opposition rises and say, no, we won't allow this. And that is commendable. Anytime an opposition group or party has done something that will draw the attention of the masses of the people to the fact that the government is not doing them right, I salute them. That is the right way to go. Unfortunately, because of our party system in Ghana, we always have a party in power and then we have the opposition. And the people in the opposition think that all that they have to do is to win power. And if what you have to do to win power is to wreck the nation, then you will. You see how sad the situation is? You see how sad the situation is? If what you have to do to win power is that let's destroy nation building. But I'll do it because I want to win power. And that is what we face most of the times in our politics. I remember some Thanksgiving service by the NPP where this guy, the guy with the funny haircut, I think it's called Omani Champon, actually was happy and he was gloating why the country, in his view then, was in an energy crisis. And he said that was great news for the country to have the energy crisis. Why? Because it means now that power will come back to us. Listen to him. This is what I'm talking about. He thinks that the role of being in opposition is to make sure that the government, anything that will happen for the government to be undermined should happen. And for that reason, if you're going to go into an energy crisis, which is going to affect companies, going to affect industry, going to affect everything, affect the economy, even if it's going to destroy all these key things, it's okay. Why? Just one reason. Now I know that we can win power. Even all the people in my area are complaining, say, so we are about to win power. Let us celebrate. You see, folks, so I am saying that sadly, people take opposition to become nation wreckers. Why then would the very decent, qualified, intelligent person say, I am opposed to building an expressway from Accra to Kumasi?
Mr. Speaker, the Honorable Asenso Boache suggested that the proposed Accra-Kumasi expressway is wasteful. And that we in the opposition opposed the dualization. Mr. Speaker, that cannot be the case. Mr. Speaker, I was surprised and amazed to see a colleague, member of parliament, particularly an MP from Kumasi, to describe the project as wasteful. Mr. Speaker, an MP of which the road is leading to his constituency will say that the road is wasteful. Mr. Speaker, to the extent that the said MP wrote to the president to say to the president that don't do that project. Mr. Speaker, I am surprised. Mr. Speaker, I'm surprised to hear that. And so, Mr. Speaker, let me say this, that this road from Accra to Kumasi is more than a road. It is opening up a country. So for an MP from that constituency to write and to say that the road is wasteful and we should not do it, and write to the president that the president should not do the project, Mr. Speaker, it's untenable. Right, Honorable Speaker.
I'm opposed to it. It's a waste of money. And remember what I said that time when I said watching made that statement. I said, I know that if His Excellency Nana Addo had then decided he was going to build an expressway from Accra to Kumasi or whatever, Asenso Boache would have clapped for it. He would have been elated. Not just him, but every single member of the party would rejoice. And yes, rightfully so. Because in their mind, well, if they are in power, then they can support the nation. But if you are not in power, not just that you won't support the nation, no, but you actually wreck the nation. Folks, wrecking the nation is over. I did a program some time ago and I said, people, their eyes, they tear. People are becoming more and more critical, more and more conscious, more and more aware of what needs to be done. Thankfully. So the nation wreckers, you will never go away, you will always be there. But I'm saying things are becoming more and more difficult for nation wreckers now. Don't get me wrong. We know the difference between somebody who means well, who wants to make sure that even if they are not in power, they want to make sure that the right things are done because they mean well. We know the difference between that and somebody else and who, because they are not in power, do not mean well. They want to hinder your progress. We have had people say on record that they want the administration to fail. Why? So that they can come to power.
You see, I want him to fail. I want my party to win the 2028 elections. I don't want Mahama to succeed as in succeeding, because I want my party to win.
So folks, I just wanted to quickly touch on this very, very quickly, that let's be aware that there's a difference between being in opposition and being a nation wrecker. If Ekosombodzam is being constructed and you go all the way to the US Congress to tell them don't give us aid, it is nation wrecking. It is nation wrecking. So I want to make sure that clarification. Now let me move on. I just wanted to talk about nation wrecking and opposition. Let's move on. Now we are now in a Ghana that is supposed to be resetting. I say supposed to be resetting because resetting takes time. It's a journey. There's nobody in this world who can take over power and say, I'm making a nationwide broadcast to the nation and tell the whole nation from today, from Monday, everybody should be reset. It doesn't happen like that. Resetting takes time. Resetting, it's about the mentality. It's about the thinking. So you take time to reset and to rebuild. But the starting point is that all of us, at least, must decide that we want to grow this nation. Because once you have that mentality, I promise you, it slows down the thinking of how much and to the extent you can wreck the nation. I kid you not. Resetting is a change of mentality. Resetting is a change of focus. Like I said the other time, we've been to the IMF, 17 times? And for the first time in our history, we paid off our debt with IMF, and we are off.
This announcement marks the definitive end of Ghana's financial bailout relationship with the IMF.
And part of the thinking is what Atu said recently, that we will not return this nation to the shackles of indebtedness. Listen to him.
Right Honorable Speaker, on the 77th Annual New Year School on the 6th of January 2025, President Mahama stated that it is my hope that this will be the very last time we ever go for an IMF bailout program. It must be the 17th and the last time that Ghana goes for a bailout from the IMF. The President further noted that we will continue our collaboration with the IMF under Article 4 and other instruments. I repeat, no further IMF financial bailout is currently required in the foreseeable future. Right Honorable Speaker, we have evolved from the position of supplicant to one of a partner with the International Monetary Fund.
So it's a great place for us to be as a nation that the IMF car, we've been owing IMF, finally we are breaking free from it. And we have a finance minister that is promising us we are not going to go back to it. This is what I'm talking about too. The resetting has begun slowly. And that is why I stand here and I always urge the NDC. That's so far so good. The direction is fine. It is cool. And I know this is human nature too, Charlie. Very soon there's going to be time for elections. There are people in the NDC who want to be president, and that is part of nature. And we know, I have the names, everybody, when Musa Dankwa does the service, he brings you all this information of people who will want to be president. And I say it's human nature, so when they are family home. But what I urge the NDC is not to allow this fact that it's human nature to come and impede the progress in the direction of where they want to take this country. In other words, You have started well, the gains are good, everything looks positive, it is fantastic. There's more to be done, we all know that. But do not allow, whatever it takes, do not allow people's desires to run for president come and derail you. Stay focused. As for the names there, we have plenty. We're so depressed. I can't blame anybody. You know, the path has been so right that NDC has become so attractive, so everybody wants to be president. I can't blame anybody. But I'll blame you and I'll come against you with the force of the hurricane if you allow your desire to become a president actually derail the party from the great work it has been doing so far. You know, so far so good. The only thing I've told Mahama, keep the focus. And I'm telling the appointees, support him to keep the focus. So far it is such a relief to all Ghanaians. Hey, after a year plus in office, no nasty scandals. Things seem to be right. There could be a scandal here or there, anyway, they're part of human nature. But the way the direction is going, if it should show up, we shall come against it with the full force that it deserves. That's why I always remind my nephew, Afeni, that May is almost over. You say you have a list of corrupt people in NDC, that the list is coming out in May. We are waiting.
When Parliament resumes in May, I'm not sure with the kind of facts we'll confront NDC with, they can ever use corruption against MPP. They cannot. In fact, very soon, they cannot talk about corruption because they will realize that they themselves.
I think May is over right about now. So we are still waiting. You know, but folks, I'm saying that let us keep the focus. Look, what people seem now to be upset with JM's leadership, and there's no question about it. What people seem to be upset is that why is he not arresting and jailing people? And he himself has said, Charlie, I am in much as a rush as most of you, but I swore on that oath to uphold the Constitution of Ghana. And the Constitution says that there's due process.
Mr. Speaker, I understand that a large majority of Ghanaians are impatient to see those who abuse their public trust in office held to account. Mr. Speaker, there were periods when, under military regimes and unconstitutional governments, extrajudicial means could be used to exact retribution against persons perceived as corrupt or who had abused the mandate given to them by the people. Mr. Speaker, this may have appeared as swift justice, but many regrettable excesses were recorded. In 1992, we overwhelmingly adopted the 1992 Constitution to accept governance by the rule of law. On 7th January, when I swore the oath of office before the people of Ghana, I swore to uphold the 1992 Constitution. I may be as impatient as everyone else to see justice done, but painstaking investigations must be conducted, dockets must be prepared, charges must be filed, and the accused must have their day in court, including appealing even on the smallest point of law to higher courts. This process is necessary to protect us all against abuse or ill treatment of citizens and to ensure that only those guilty of offenses against the state are punished. As President Mills of blessed memory said, he said, and I quote, "The wheels of justice grind slowly, but they grind exceedingly fine."
So Ghana if I'm allowing that due process to take place, now don't turn your back on me and attack me. Because when I was swearing the oath of allegiance to the country, you supported me, said this is the man we voted for, and he sworn the oath of allegiance. And he's just reminding us that the oath of allegiance simply means, whether we like it or not, that there's a process. a constitutional process. And he says, as president, as the executive, I am bound to understand and accept the process. But he says something, he says the wheels grind slowly. But it doesn't mean that they have stopped. Things will happen. Recently, I listened to the Attorney General. This is what he had to say.
When, statements like that are being made, that we are doing this because oral is failing. Oral is not failing. All right? Go back and check the records. I am the first Attorney General in the history of the Fourth Republic to have brought 5 corruption cases in 1 year. Go back and check the records. And what is happening in court now is rather putting pressure on them because they know that I have been so diligent in my investigations, I have been so diligent in the prosecutions that they are afraid that their people will go to jail for the acts of corruption that they engage in. And so the accusation that we are shifting focus away from oral is not something that I will pay heed to, because oral is on track and oral is going to succeed.
Well, basically what the AG was saying is actually, don't start thinking that oral has failed. And that goes to all of us. We think enough. And I'm listening to him and I'm trusting him. He says, don't start thinking that oral has failed. We shall all see the results of oral. So we are waiting. The funny thing is this. Those who have been disappointed, eventually, when I was hanging out with my niece and Nama, I told her, we will see jailment and imprisonment. We'll see it. I said that nowhere, but that's what I told her. Just for the facts, their campaign should, no matter what. Onye Musa, I don't know the strategy, I don't know anything, but I'm sitting here today and telling my audience, and I want to know witness, within 1 year, we'll be shocked. Oh yeah, something will happen. Something must happen, no. And to me, yes, and now I will say, me de me real temility, me the 1 million baba, me pliba give me the amount to me. No.
But I don't know,
so a two way trap. When I'm catch you.
Oh, President Mahama administration.
A two way trap within 1 year. So most of us who are disappointed, we are counting on the Attorney General that yes, there will be some recovery, there will be some action against the looters. Because I say it every time, I'm not ready for the alternative. It's weekend. My memorial is cry. I've been imagining. So what if the alternative is true? Let's say Bawumia wins the election. So Bawumia becomes president. And do you know what I think about? Who is his staff? I can almost imagine Bawumia coming up and saying, Ghana for I have now the team to back me in Ghana for what is a solid team. We have Afenyo Marking. We have Anodon Prayer. We have Salam Mustafa. We have Nana B. We have Justin Korea. What a solid team.
What a solid team.
It's the weekend. I wanted us to go with something like this, But that could be the alternative, and that for me is very, very scary. But I'm saying, as I always do, March 6th coming, Ghana will be 70 years. And I'm glad that Ghana is going to become 70 years under the leadership of JM, who says we have to reset.
We shall reset our dear nation, Ghana.
under the leadership of JM, who says our focus is Ghana, not party. And I'm glad that at 70 years, I will apply to go and do a poem on the 70th anniversary. I don't know what the poem is, but I know how it will end. Ghana is back.